And yeah, so awesome. You are totally in the right place if you are a current user of Mailchimp and you'd like to know what some of the different functionality is. This webinar is not a how-to, so I'm going to be going through some of the bigger picture functionality and ways that you can use Mailchimp to give you some ideas on what you can do. So if you're ready to make some changes to improve your email communication, then let's get started. So this is where you are at the moment. You rarely use email marketing in your business. You have a Mailchimp account where you just send an email newsletter from, and you can't see any conversion rates, and you wonder what the point of doing email is. Maybe you're confused with conflicting information about what you should do, and you're not entirely sure about the functionality of Mailchimp and would like to use it to connect more with your subscribers. So this is where you want to be, and hopefully at the end of today you are a bit clearer in your mind about where you're going to go with that. So you want to have effective email. You would like it to be automated but personal at the same time, and you would like to have a successful business and increase your sales with your effort in your marketing, in your email marketing. So who am I? I'm Rachel Allan. I'm a marketer, coach, speaker, author, and a mum. I have always used email marketing in my business, and across all my lists I have over 2,000 subscribers. Every week I have people subscribing and also unsubscribing from my lists. I use Mailchimp probably on a daily basis. I have automated welcome emails, I run courses through it, challenges, and also programs. I send newsletters frequently to different lists, all with different purposes, which I'm going to talk about as we go through today. So I've got a good open rate and I have a good conversion into web traffic, sign-ups to webinars and programs that we run, and also sales. Ultimately encouraging people to know me, like me, and trust me in my email marketing. I specialise in marketing strategy and helping business owners to think big about their business. So what can you expect from today's webinar? And we've got a lot of content to get through as well. So we're going to talk firstly about organising your campaigns and how you can do that best. Look at the functionality of Mailchimp and how that can help you in your email marketing. We're going to look at some automation that you can set up to make it easier for you. And finally, we will look at personalising your emails so that your customers don't just feel like another cog in your marketing wheel. If you have any questions, please pop them in the chat and we will get back to them at the end of the webinar. Let's first of all dive into some myths about email marketing. And you may hear that email marketing is dead, whereas in fact it's being known as one of the most trusted forms of communication, with 77% of consumers choosing email over other online channels. In fact, 80% of marketers report email as the strongest performing media buy. That's ahead of search engine marketing and display advertising. You can expect an average return of investment on $38 for every dollar that you spend on your email marketing. And it is the third most influential source of information behind word of mouth and also using influencers. So email marketing is trusted by people, so it's not dead. You'll hear this every day, drowning in emails. And the fact is that people may be drowning in emails, but 60% of people receive less than 6 emails per day from trusted brands. So if you're receiving 50 emails in a day, most of those is going to be just rubbish emails and people that you don't trust. So the trust of email, of brands in emails, is low. So don't think people are drowning in emails. You'll often hear marketers talking about the best time or the best day to send an email. There is no best time or day to send an email out to people. And you'll often find that if someone comes out and says the latest research shows you need to send your emails Tuesday at 9 o'clock, everybody who reads that article is then going to start to send their emails out on Tuesday at 9 o'clock. Therefore, people will be bombarded at that time and day. So look at your list, see when your best open rates are, and send it according to those. Further research actually says that 85% of people open their emails 2 days after they receive it. So they're not opening it immediately. Only 21% of purchases happen within 2 days of opening the email, and 32% of purchases occur after 2 weeks. So emails can actually sit in people's inboxes for quite a while before they take action on it. Multiple emails get ignored. Sending 4 emails in a month has been shown to double the number of customers who will open at least 1 email, therefore leading to higher opportunities for conversions and revenue for you. So don't think that if you send 1 email a month that you're going to get the results you need. More frequent emails are going to get you better conversions. Subject line spam words. Now here's a fallacy, because Google doesn't actually look at the subject lines of emails that are going out, so that is not going to affect any sort of Google ranking. There's actually no such thing as spam words in email. If you look at your spam inbox, sometimes there's just no rhyme or reason as to why a certain email is in there. So don't worry about spam words. Often you'll hear the word free being put down as a spam word. That's not always true. There's also no right or wrong length of a subject line. It just needs to appeal to your audience. So just remember that when you are creating the subject line, that it needs to just appeal to your audience. Let's get back to customer and putting your customer central. Unsubscribes are cause for concern, and I'm sure we all get it when we get our email that says so many people have unsubscribed from our email list, and we go, oh, that's really sad. Start turning that around. The people who unsubscribe from your mailing list are people who will never do business with you. So instead of being sad when someone unsubscribes for your list, just turn it around and say, you know what, that means it opens up the door for other people to come into my list who are actually going to do business with me. So those unsubscribes are making room for your customers. Like I said at the start, every week I get people who unsubscribe from my mailing list, but I'm also getting people who are subscribing. So it's the ebb and flow, really. Open rate is the most important metric, and I'm sure we all look at our reports after we send out a campaign or an email, and we'll go, oh, only 10% of people opened my email. I must be doing something wrong. 10% open rate is actually really good, because open rates of emails are fairly low. But stop looking at that as your success rate. Instead, look at the number of leads that get generated per email and the conversion rates per email, which are more important. So how many people are clicking through onto other things when they receive your email? That is more of a sign of engagement and success in your email marketing. And the final myth I want to kill off is the size of mailing list is most important. It's actually not. A huge email list may be totally irrelevant unless subscribers interact with you. What really counts is establishing long-lasting relationships. You could have an email mailing list of 5,000 people, but you're still only getting 10 or 15 people opening your emails. So even if you only have 2 people on your list at the moment, nurture those people. They've opted into your mailing list for a reason, so you need to keep nurturing them and engaging with them, and just focus on growing your lists as well. But remember that the size of it isn't important. In fact, once you get high in Mailchimp, once you get over 2,000 people on your mailing list, or 2,000, 3,000, you need to start paying for it. So it's actually easier if you keep your mailing list lower and keep really important people on it, and then you don't have to pay for the use of Mailchimp, for example. Okay, let's dive into our content. Organising campaigns. So when you are thinking about sending an email, ask yourself why you're sending it. Is it to welcome people into your list? Is it to inform them of specials, of sales, of offers? Is it to stay connected with them, to nurture them? Is it maybe to support a program that you're running, or a course, or maybe a challenge, new products? Think about why you're sending out the email. When will you send it? And I don't mean the time or day, but at what point in your marketing funnel are you going to send that particular email? What stage of engagement? How does it fit into your marketing funnel? What do you want to achieve from sending the email? So what's the call to action or the next steps? How do you lead people closer to making a sale with you? So when you're organising your campaigns and organising your emails, really think about why you're sending that email, how you can nurture people more, and especially when they first subscribe to your list and are highly motivated. And we'll go through some really easy tips on that later. So just think about where email fits in with your entire marketing. Okay. Some functionality of Mailchimp. Within Mailchimp, you can send an email, you can create an ad, you can create a landing page, you can now even send postcards, or you can create a sign-up form. First of all, I just want to quickly jump into talking to you about sending an email within Mailchimp. So you can send a regular email, an automated email, plain text, or you can do some A/B testing. So the regular email is probably something that you've all used anyway, where you're just creating a once-off email, designing it up really nicely, putting some images in, maybe a link to a video or whatever, and you're sending that off to keep your subscribers engaged. And that's one you probably all do. An automated email is pretty exciting, and that's where you can actually create workflows and email sequences and really engage and dig deep into your mailing lists. So I'm actually going to talk about I'm also going to talk about automation in a moment, so we're going to come back to this one. You can also send a plain text email, and that is where it's nothing fancy, there's no images in there, there's nothing to distract people. It is simply text only, and you can add in your logo, I think, with Mailchimp with a basic plain text email. Now, this one you might want to send to people that isn't a regular newsletter. It could be something you really want to make look quite personal, as if it's been sent from within your own email account, whether you use Gmail or Outlook or whatever it is. So the plain text one is for a really simple email. The A/B testing is probably a bit advanced, and that's when you want to get into working out what works for your list. So you send the same content, but you display it differently. You might send it at a different time to part of your email list, or you might add in a GIF or a static image or whatever. And it's about just testing what works best for your audience. And again, that's probably a bit more advanced when you've got more people on your mailing list. You're trying to test what works for your customers. So that's email, when you dig into email. And we'll come back to the automated stuff. You can also now create your ads within Mailchimp, so your Facebook ads, your Instagram ads, and your Google Network ads as well. That is a totally different form of marketing that we're not going to talk about in this webinar. I can do it in another webinar if you're interested, but we're not going to talk about that today. Nor am I going to dig into the postcard because it is only in beta testing, but that's really cool because it means you can collect addresses from people and then you can actually send them a physical postcard that's sent from within your Mailchimp account. So that's a really exciting new tool that Mailchimp have brought in that is taking some communication away from digital. And let's face it, we don't get much in our mailbox anymore. So that's something that is a bit exciting. Again, I'm not going to look at that until it's sort of up and tested and running a little bit more. We are going to look at landing pages and sign-up forms a little bit more. So let's jump into landing pages to start with. Now, landing pages have become very popular for communicating one piece of information to people and encouraging sign up to your list or sales of a specific product or service as well. So it's one piece of information. Mailchimp is still evolving their landing pages and are doing a bit of work with it. However, I think it's one of the easiest systems to use. And I've used a couple of different landing page systems, and I think Mailchimp is easy and it's connected with your mailing list already. So think of some of the ways that you can use a landing page in your business, and you may already use them. Often we connect landing pages with websites as well. So what would be your message in it? What's your call to action? Is it signing up to a mailing list? Is it exploring more information? Is it encouraging them to purchase off you directly? So as an example, I recently used landing pages for an article I wrote on the future of marketing. There were 2 further landing pages connected to that article for people to dig deeper. And of course, I had the subscribe button at the end to get them to sign to my mailing list. The secondary landing pages gave further information with a very strong sales message and opportunity to actually connect with me more. And there was a subscribe button to the mailing lists. I promoted the article to a select group of people and then increased the readership through Facebook groups. And I've had over 200 hits on the article and watched people delve deeper into the information. From watching how the sort of information people were looking for, I was then able to develop content that's based on that. And I added people into my subscriber list and people who wanted to be there. An important thing, just as a side note, when people do look at information on your landing page, they're not automatically signing up to the mailing list. So you're giving that information for free and asking them to opt into the mailing list if they want more. I've also used landing pages as part of an affiliate system for a program that I run also, which allows other people to give the same sort of information on a landing page. And then if people, after they've read the information and they would like more on it or they want to purchase, then there's the opportunity to do that as well. So you can create a sign-up landing page, which is pretty much what we've just gone through. Or you can create a product landing page. And this is pretty cool because you can link, if you have an online store, you can link your online store through to Mailchimp, which makes it a little bit more extendable, I suppose, on your store and allows you to connect more with people who are going to your store website. So once you have the landing page created, and obviously with the store, the product page, you would be promoting out specific products. So once you have the landing page, you can share the link or you can add it to your website as a pop-up landing page, and you may need your developer to help you with that. Plus, you can add links on your website back to your landing page, encouraging sign-ups to Mailchimp. So when you do create your landing page, be very clear about what your call to action is going to be and also how you're going to promote it to get people both onto your landing page and also into your website or opting in and signing up to your emails. Okay. Sign-up forms, which was the other option that you could do in there. They're the ultimate way to get people to join your mailing list. And Mailchimp have made it so simple to help you create them. So we've gone through the campaign section of Mailchimp to get to this page, which you can do, or you can go through the lists page, which will shortcut it basically into there. So within Campaign, you can create 3 different forms. You can create the landing page, the sign up landing page, which is what we've just been through, or you can create the embedded form and the pop-up form, which we are going to have a look at now. So after you go through Campaigns, you then click into this, which is the list section of Mailchimp. You can create as many lists as you want within your account. So let's pause for a moment. What are lists and why would you use them? So lists are essentially where you store all of your subscribers. And like I said, you can have as many as you want or need. So I run 2 Mailchimp accounts. This is one of my Mailchimp accounts, and I've got 4 lists in there. One for each different section of my business. So you guys are all in the growth and success one because you want to grow your business. That's where you're at, in case you're interested in that. Now, by putting subscribers into different lists, you can actually target different information and messages to them. Now, these lists here are actually purposefully low. They're only fairly new lists, but every single person who's on that list has opted into it. My other Mailchimp account is goes back for years, and that's where a massive amount of people are in, but that's a very old mailing list as well. So these are my new ones. You can create the lists depending on what sections of your business. You may have something that is for consumers, something for businesses. You might have different product ranges or whatever that you would like to create a list for. So just think about that, and then you can use those to target out to very specific messages. So they're quite powerful in there. So back to the sign-up forms. So you end up in a section in lists. You'll go to your form builder section, and you can create 4 different sign-up forms basically. So your embedded forms, embedded forms basically look like this on your website. So this is one of my embedded forms. So people basically just put their email address in and they subscribe, and then they're on your list. Subscriber pop-ups look very much the same as that. However, they just pop up on your website. Just a note of caution on pop-ups as well. Google does rank pop-ups, or websites with pop-ups lower. That's a big cross from Google. If you do still want to pop up, make sure you time it so that it doesn't come up immediately when someone arrives on your website. It might come up 10 or 15 seconds after they've been on your website. Personally, I hate pop-ups, so I don't use them, but they can be really effective for getting people to sign up to your lists. And the final one down there is form integrations, and that's where you can connect other programs, CRMs and so forth into Mailchimp. Again, you're going to need someone who's really into Mailchimp as a Mailchimp expert or your website developer to actually help you create those. Today I want to focus just on Form Builder because I think this is where you can get some really quick wins if you haven't already created up your forms. So let's dig deeper into those. With Form Builder, you can create all of those automated pop-ups and bits that come when people subscribe or unsubscribe from your lists. So there's a whole different bunch of them that you can create to help personalize and also automate your subscription and unsubscription process. You can also create an automated email sequence within campaigns to also achieve some of this, which I'm going to skip back to in a moment. But these are just basic ones. When you design your subscribe sequence, make sure you do not bombard people at the beginning too much. So the last thing you want is to subscribe to a list and then suddenly have about 10 emails coming in quick succession into your email inbox. So just keep a check on that workflow when people first subscribe to your list, that you don't bombard them. But also remember, when they first subscribe, they're really highly motivated to find out more about your business and about you and to connect with you. So I'm going to go through 2 things today with you. The first is the sign-up form, And the second is the confirmation thank you page. Because I think once you get those right, the rest of those you can have a play around with and work out what you need in your business, what you want in your business, and you can sort of basically put that together by yourself. So let's work on, first of all, the sign-up form. So this is what the sign-up form looks like at the front end. So this is when people go to the sign-up form to opt into your mailing list. This is what mine looks like. You can customize it. You can use your own colors. You can put your own logo in it. You can put your own heading. You can put a short little introduction into it. You can choose what information you can get from people. You can have their email address, first name, last name, company, birthday, obviously mailing address because they're bringing in the postcards. So you can gather as much information from people in this sign-up form as you want. My word of caution there is don't make it too hard, because people are going to be opting in and they just want to quickly give you their email address, their first name, last name, click on what information they want and then send it off to you. It's also really cool to add in that I'm interested in receiving more information on, and I have all the different things that people can get information from me to dig in to find out more about what you're actually interested in, so I can send you relevant information. And all of those interested in receiving more information on, I have an automated email sequence that connects all of those. So if someone wants to sign up to the free marketing challenge, they can tick, want to sign up for it. And then the automated emails come out with the challenge in it already for them to start. And I don't even have to think about it. I just have to go back and check every now and again that the information's up to date and that the automation's working. But it all just flows for itself. And this helps with further targeting and personalising the information that people are looking for. The other really cool thing you can do is you can put in hidden fields. So these are fields that you can see and you can add people into, but they're not going to be able to see at the front end. So for me, I have hidden fields for things that people have actually purchased. So for those of you who are on this webinar and are waiting for recordings or listening to the recording, I actually add in the webinar. So for this one, it would be Mailchimp 101. And I add in a group for that. And then everyone who's on it goes into that purchased group so that you can get the reminder emails, you can get the post emails with the recording in it as well. So again, those hidden values, re-engaging with people who have already purchased from you or signed up to an event or something is really, really essential and really important as well to closing that communication and keeping them from falling out of the gaps. So, and the marketing permissions there is all to do with the GDPR rulings that came in a few months ago, which caused a lot of pain for a lot of people. That you only need to consider that if 10% of your mailing list is EU-based, or if you are actively targeting the EU countries. So if you don't have that, you don't need to worry about GDPR. However, Mailchimp have made it easy by you being able to just simply tick a box when you're filling out or creating your forms to say, yes, I need to be compliant with GDPR. And I'll make sure that people are actually opting into the right areas and then it's compliant. So that's your forms from the front end. In the back end of Mailchimp, you can customize the sign up form using the build it screen and also the design it screen. In these, you can add everything that I said before. You can customize colors, you can add in your logos, you can put links in there if you want to. You know, you can customize it however you need to for your business. The other important thing when you are in the design or the build it screen is that you'll see up the top there is the little EEPURL website address. That's the address that you will send people to give them access to the form. So it could be a link on your website, it could be a link in a Facebook post or a link in another email. You can send that directly to Facebook, to Twitter. You can create QR codes, even though they're a little bit outdated and not many people, if any, have ever really used a QR code. But you can create all of that stuff that will send people directly to your live form. So that little web address makes it so easy. So have a play with your form. Make sure that you're using it to really get the information that you need from people when they're signing up to your different lists. The other important thing is the thank you page, the confirmation thank you page, because it's nice to give people that immediate next step. So they've taken the time to opt into your email list, so now immediately thank them or sending them off to something. So you can do two things here. You can send people off to a URL address. So it could be your website, could be a Facebook group, it could be another landing page. So send them somewhere if you want to give them more information about your business. Or you can add in a thank you message there as well. And in that thank you message, you can put links in for people to go off to something, or you can give them their free opt-in if you want to in there. I actually give my opt-ins in automated email sequences, but you can put it into here if you want to. When you are setting up your thank you page, think about the journey that you're taking people on, how they have come to your sign-up form. So make sure that you're not sending people around in circles. So if they sign up from within your website, don't send them back to your website because they're going around in circles. Send them somewhere else. Send them off to your Facebook page or your Facebook group or wherever you want to. But make sure you don't send people around in circles. You want to keep their journey with you alive at that point. When people sign up to your list, they are highly motivated to learn more about you. And this is your chance to delight them and to encourage them closer to a sale. So that's just two of the little things that you can do in the back end. With your automation sequence, you've probably heard people going on about automations thinking that they are expensive. When Mailchimp made their automation sequences free, I, for one, celebrated. And I've spent a lot of time setting up lots of automated email sequences in Mailchimp so that many of my processes are now just running, and I'm making sure that I'm not letting anyone slip through the cracks. And I just do basically a spring cleaning every couple of months of those automations just to check that they're still working, and that's really important. So before you race into setting up your automations, really think about it. Identify when you do something more than once. So if you're sending the same email over and over and over and over again, you don't need to. You can set up an automation for that. So create a procedure for it, outlining the steps. What triggers that email to be sent? What do you need to include in the email? What are the next steps that you need people to take? So create a procedure for it. Once you have all those steps down in place, you don't actually need to do that again. You can either automate it or you can outsource it to somebody else to do it if you need to. And sometimes you may find that you've got this email sequence, but you need some sort of input from a person or from another program. So you need to look at either automating that or outsourcing it to someone else to manage as well. So create a process, map the process. So what tools are you going to need from beginning to end as well? And is it all Mailchimp, or do you need PayPal, or do you need other programs to link in with Mailchimp as well to get that email sequence moving? So you can integrate many tools and applications with Mailchimp to extend it even more. So you can put in your CRM, your customer relationship management system. You can put your payment gateways like PayPal and so on. You can put in Zoom. So there's heaps that you can integrate in with Mailchimp as well to make this even more powerful for you. At the end of the day, you want to close the communication loop. So where you collect emails and addresses, how can you automate them being sent into Mailchimp if you're not using sign-up forms, or you might be using sign-up forms within your CRM? How can you automate all of those processes and link them with Mailchimp so you don't actually have to be manually entering them all the time? All right, let's get into some juicy bits about creating an automated email sequence. So there's 3 things that you can do in an automated email sequence. You can have your welcome message, where you're welcoming people when they sign it up for you, your onboarding series, or an education series. Okay. When you go in and start creating your workflow, this is the screen that you're going to get. And it's pretty much the same as if you're just creating one email, except for obviously the top bit of the screen. So you would go in and design your email, and you would add your graphics and your logo and your content and everything that you want to put into the welcome message, as you would if you were creating a once-off email. What I want to dig into, because I think it's pretty exciting here, is these trigger events. You know, what you can do to trigger an email workflow going. So the first one is your workflow. So you can, this can't be your first email, but for any subsequent emails, you can send out a trigger email for people who have been sent the previous email. Someone who's opened that email, maybe they haven't opened the email, you can send a reminder email for them to open it. Maybe they've clicked any link in the email that you've already sent them, and you can send them a specific email saying, you're interested in hearing more, or you've clicked on this and it's really great and hope you buy it. If you don't click on a link in the previous email, you can send a reminder email. So it could be that you're sending out an email to get people to listen to a webinar, and you see that they haven't clicked on the link. So you can send them an email to say, don't forget to make time to listen to the webinar. Or a specific link has been clicked in that email, so you can send them another email to say, thanks for clicking on this link, and I know that you're now interested in finding out more about my X product. So here's some more information for you. So they can be really cool triggers to keep people re-engaged. Remember that open rates are low, people don't mind receiving up to 4 emails from you, and sometimes your sales can take 2 days or more to happen, or up to 2 weeks. So sending a reminder email can make that happen quicker. E-commerce, so this is when you link your shop in with Mailchimp. You can then send specific emails out to people depending on what their purchasing or not purchasing behaviour has been on your online store. So it could be that you send out a thank you when they do purchase a product for you. You can send different emails for specific purchases. So you might have special instructions on certain products, or it could be a downloadable product or something. You can set it up in Mailchimp that when they purchase that, it triggers an email from within Mailchimp to send that information to them. Same if they purchase from a specific category on your store. You can also send them an email if they haven't purchased any product. So they may have visited your store but not purchased. So then you might want to send them an email to say, come back and purchase and I'm going to give you 5% off or something. Again, an abandoned cart, one of the biggest problems for people who have online stores is that people go shopping, they put stuff in their cart, and then they don't fulfill. They don't go through and pay. So an abandoned cart means that you can send them an email and say, hey, you left all this stuff in your cart. Do you still want to purchase it? And email retargeting as well. So again, it's when someone's on your website and then they leave your online store, you can then retarget them. And you can also use that with ads and so on. So we won't delve into that, but that's just some of the options. If you have an e-commerce store and you want to link it to Mailchimp, that's some of the things you can do. In campaign activity, you can send them information if they've sent a specific campaign, so it doesn't have to be within this workflow, it just can be a campaign within your lists. And you can then follow up with a trigger email or a workflow if they've sent that. Maybe they open a specific campaign. So I know for some of my challenges and courses I have, particularly the free course that I run, if someone doesn't open that email, they don't get sent the next email, because I don't want it to start to become banked up in their email, and that becomes, you know, part of their overwhelm of emails, and they unsubscribe from everything that I do. So they only receive the next installment once they've opened the email. They're not open to the campaign, so you might want to remind them to go back and open an email because it's got some really important information in it. If they click a link in a specific campaign, or they don't click a link, or they click a specific link, very similar to the ones we went through with the workflow activity, but the campaign activity is for emails outside the workflow that you're creating here. They are really good ones to start triggers. So it could be that the trigger, if someone signs up to your list, the campaign or that sign up, no, actually I'll do something else. You might send out a newsletter once a month. You might do a follow-up email within a week, and that can come from within here, within this workflow. Your list management is about subscribers. So if you manually add someone into your workflow, you can send them an email to say, I've manually added you into this list. You're going to receive information on blah, blah, blah. You can unsubscribe at any time because you've manually added them. They haven't opted in. The sign up is when someone actually signs up to your list and joins it. And then they'll get the information that you've preset already in the subscription form, and you can then further send them more information. So it could be information about their opt-in, or you might have, you know, every couple of days sending them some information about about your business to get them to like you, know you, trust you. You can send it if they change a list field within their subscription, if they join a list group as well. So that's digging down further into the groups that, you know, with the options I'm interested in. Or if they leave a group, you can say, you know, thank you so much, sorry to see you go. You can always come back at another time. And finally, the last trigger is with integrations, and that's using APIs. And again, you're going to probably need a Mailchimp expert or a developer to actually help you create those APIs. With all of the triggers that Mailchimp actually offer you within their own system, having those integrations you're probably not going to need to get started. Now, automations, all of that stuff is a lot of information. I suggest that you create a workflow and use a flow chart to actually go from subscription process through to end process. If you're creating, you know, a series of emails that you want to send out about information, education, or whatever, just create a flow chart so that you're very clear in your own mind what needs to happen, and that you're not bombarding people with emails either. So that's really crucial. You can go through and set up automations, and then suddenly people are getting 20 emails in their inbox, and that's when they're going to unsubscribe from you. So automations are awesome. They make your life easier. However, they can make people feel like they're just another cog in the marketing wheel and that you're just going through the processes. So you need to personalize things. Remembering that people want to know you, like you, trust you before they do business with you. When someone subscribes to receive more information from you, they're wanting to know about you more. Let them find out more about you by sharing your story and your offerings in a non-salesy way. Your subscribers deserve to not be treated as just a number on your list, where you celebrate those who open your emails and scorn those who don't, where you get angry at people who unsubscribe. Get personal. Use merge tags to address by name. Use lists that we've talked about to narrow your communication, and use groups to further focus specific offerings to people. You can also merge fields to really target, and this could include when they subscribe to your list, their campaign activity, their location even, purchases, subscriber ratings, and there's so many other ways that you can really drill down and target people on your lists to help you to personalize your email campaigns. So what should you do now that I've given you all of this information? I suggest first of all you create an email strategy. Go back to why you're sending campaigns, what you want to get out of it, the workflow that you want people to go on the journey in their emails, and then also how you're going to personalize it. So create that strategy, ensuring that the email strategy fits in with your marketing plan and what you want to achieve with your marketing. And then as a final check, just make sure that your marketing plan is actually integrated with your business plan. That is, that everything you do in your business on a daily basis is working towards you achieving your business goals. So work backwards in that, so that every time you send out an email, you are actually working towards one of your business goals. Okay. Now, if you want some more help in this area, we offer accountability pods, which is a 10-week program where you meet with like-minded people to stay accountable to your goals. You meet online 4 times over a 10-week period in a very structured session, and it's all about goals and making sure you're doing it and overcoming any barriers, any problems you might have with your emails or any other form of marketing. And our next accountability pod program will start in term 4, which is in October. You can book a coaching session with myself. We can go through your email marketing if you want, or any other sort of marketing issues that you're having within your business. If you are finding that you're doing things on a very ad hoc way, so today you've listened to a webinar on email marketing, and tomorrow you might be talking about something on Facebook, and you're finding that your marketing is very ad hoc, you probably need a marketing plan. So we can help you to put together a marketing plan, and we have solutions for you from do-it-yourself through to done-for-you plans as well. So for today only, my little sales to you is that I'm offering you a 1-hour marketing coaching session with me to go through your email marketing campaigns. I'm offering you a place in one of the accountability pods, which starts in term 4. That's valued at $175. Today I'm selling them to you guys because you've taken the time to be on this webinar for just $50. So all you need to do is follow that little link there that will take you through to our online store for you to purchase that. That link will also be in your email that you get after this with the details of the recordings as well. Now we have our Marketing Conversations event is coming up on September 19. For those who don't know about those, they go from 10 o'clock until 2:30 in the afternoon. We have 8 speakers all come and talk to you about different marketing things. The next theme of our Marketing Conversations event on September 19 is all to do with digital. We have the amazing Kate Toon coming to speak about SEO. We've got Jemima Ashley booked in, Linda Reed-Enever. We've got people coming to talk about websites, about LinkedIn. There's a whole range of awesome speakers booked in for that already. That is a free event for you to come to. And our next Knowledge Exchange webinar is we're going to be talking about business success, and that is on the 4th of September. And again, registration information for all of those are going to be sent to you via email with the recording for this video. So thank you so much for joining us today.